She unwittingly ended a patient's life, but her reaction to her conviction shocked the world.
And that will be the order of the court.
RaDonda Vaught was a Nashville nurse who made the worst mistake of her career and of her life. While she was on duty at the hospital where she worked, RaDonda Vaught gave a lethal dose of a drug to one of her patients, causing the patient's immediate death.
This was a terrible, terrible mistake, and there have been consequences to the defendant.
The news paralyzed the entire community in the city, but it also paralyzed the healthcare staff who didn't want their colleague to end up paying for an unintentional mistake with jail time.
That could be any of us. That could be me, it could be her, it could be any nurse. Any nurse could be in this situation because no one is error-free. Everyone makes mistakes.
However, as much as she had the whole guilt behind her, RaDonda's future looked very bleak. She had 2 serious charges against her: criminally negligent homicide and abuse of a disabled adult.
Nothing that the district attorney said yesterday is worse than anything that I've said to myself. So, number one. Number two, it's been 3.5 years waiting for this process to be done within the legal system, and so I am very happy that that part is just over with.
A little over 3 years had to go by for a verdict to arrive that not only kept RaDonda on tenterhooks, but also the entire healthcare workforce in Nashville. The negligence had been brutal, and the only thing left to do was to wait to see what sentence the judge in charge of the case would hand down.
The court therefore finds that judicial diversion is appropriate and will enter an order today placing the defendant on supervised probation for an effective period of 3 years, and will defer entry of judgment pending successful completion of that probation.
The conviction was shocking. RaDonda couldn't believe that in the end, she wouldn't spend a single minute in jail. But of course, that had finally been achieved thanks to the help of the victim's family. The former nurse had shown her remorse.
Saying I'm sorry doesn't seem like enough, but you deserve to hear that, and you deserve to know that I am very sorry for what happened.
This testimony by the defendant would be key in the judge's decision to give the nurse such a low sentence. However, that wouldn't be all, as Charlene Murphy's family decided to forgive her because they had understood that everything that had happened had only been a fatal mistake.
We forgive her. My mother-in-law would want her to be forgiven. And jail time is not an option to me.
I mean, it's sad all the way around for everybody. I mean, not only my family, but hers also.
What is certain is that RaDonda Vaught ultimately received one of the most favorable sentences she could have asked for. Her negligence had taken the life of a 75-year-old, but the way she dealt with the whole situation, in addition to pressure from healthcare staff, would eventually lead to an almost absolute pardon for the former nurse.
Yeah, I will never be the same person. It's really hard to be happy about something without immediately feeling guilty.
Where does that guilt come from?
It comes from knowing that if I had just checked, she could still be alive with her family.